would have had that one. Welcome to the Webb Harris Oval here for this Premier Grade T20 clash between the University of Queensland and Western Suburbs. My name's John Levine. Joining me this afternoon is David Grogan, former club captain and coach. How are you, Dave?
Magnificent day here at St Lucia. Once again, two clubs, close rivals, friendly rivals, but they've had some magnificent battles over the last few seasons. West coming off a big win in the one-day competition, the 50-over competition. We've got Matt Willens coming in to bowl his first ball of the afternoon. There was 9 runs off Jano Kurtz's opening over, so West off to a good start. Both teams had very successful days yesterday, John. Both teams winning. West defeated Ipswich Logan by 6 wickets. Very comfortable win there, and they defeated Gold Coast by 8 wickets in the afternoon. So they're coming off 2 good wins. University beat Toombul very comfortably. Toombul only managing 131 despite 76 by Chris Lynn, as Matt Willens comes in to bowl again.
I think Matt Renshaw did well also for Toombul yesterday.
He got a big 100, yes, after the students had picked him up early in the morning fixture. But Jano Kurtz was the man of the moment in the afternoon game against Sandgate, with Uni needing 4 off the last ball. It was Jano again, like he did last year against West.
Right here.
Finding the boundary and securing a thrilling last ball win. I think we chased 150 in that game, so what a great win. So both teams coming into today with confidence.
Polson, a veteran. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that. Left-hander. Left arm around the wicket. We had 4 or 5 LBWs in the previous game in 2s. Led to the downfall of 2s, running well short of Western Suburbs 132.
Yeah, just talking to Coach Hamish Gardner. He pulling his hair out with frustration at the batting of the 2s, but they'll be better for the experience, he says.
Yeah, well, how do they sit though? They might have missed out now, I think. 2 losses.
Yeah, it'll be a long way back from that. In a 6-match competition, dropping 2 matches would just about cook your goose. Matt Willens, of course, has just arrived back from the National Championships, National Under-19 Championships in Perth. Had a solid week, and he's earned his 2nd national selection. He's off to the World Cup in January over in South Africa, so it's a fantastic performance for Big Matt. A player of immense potential.
I was asked when we were doing a Shield game about variety for the Queensland Bulls, and we don't have a left-hander, left arm. I know University got 2. One of them's this man. And the other one got another 5 for last week, and that would be one Scott Walter. So if they're not keen on Scotty Walter, so Matt Willens is certainly a prospect.
Certainly is. I mean, at some stage, I guess while he's young, they're going to have to be certain that his body's going to hold up. I suppose in the in the similar way that they're nursing Billy Stanlake in the early stages of his career, making sure that he's certainly ready for the 4-day game.
Yeah, well, there's no more red ball cricket for some time now for the Bulls as Willems comes in again, and that one's been whipped off the pads here to square leg, and there's a chance that he's caught on the deep. Good catch into the sun, and the students get rid of the very dangerous Polson.
That is a big wicket, very big wicket. Probably a bit of a shock, to be honest with you. The man camped out there on the boundary, took Matt Willens off the leg stump and straight down the throat of the fieldsman down there at deep backward square. And I'll tell you what, it wouldn't have been a simple catch looking straight into that western sun, but it was a good catch nonetheless. So a very good start for Uni. Very handy wicket, that one.
Yeah, obviously going with the power play. Trying to get as many runs as they can. That's Steve Polson there. 5 runs to the 8. Brendan Smith and Steve McGiffin comes to the crease. So it's pretty hard to gauge, but I'd imagine 150, especially with the batting talent that both these sides have, would be what they would be after. As a par mark, I think, Dave?
Yeah, I think
better
so.
Than most?
Yeah, I mean, I was just interested to note the outfield appears to be a little longer. I didn't see this morning's game, but there's still remnants of the Storm with the clippings sitting on the surface. But what we've seen so far, it's still running pretty well. There's the wickets over on the far side of the block, so there's a short boundary over there on the kindergarten side, the car park side.
I don't think a number of times I've been here, Web. I don't think I've ever seen the pitch on the far side.
No.
It's usually the middle or this way.
Yeah.
To the clubhouse. Yano to continue, but yeah, it's. I asked the umpire, Peter Nolan, whether there was anything scary out there. He said, no, it's a bit softer in the middle, but you're right about the outfield, but because, well, out of character, it rained.
That's right. Would have thrown their mowing roster out.
Exactly, which was actually in hieroglyphics because it's been that long since the...
Yeah, they've had to brush the dust off the mowers.
It's terrible, isn't it? But anyway, same area. I just came back from Mackay. It's the same up there. So don't think we're special, South East Queensland. But Reevesy and Jimmy done a great job with this ground. It looks fantastic as always. And then I didn't see Dom Michael around.
Yeah, I saw Dom.
Is he here?
Yeah.
That's well. The bookmakers just wound it back in again. Dom, he's certainly another man who's in contention for the Bulls, isn't he?
I mean, he brings a lot to your game, doesn't he? He's a very powerful middle order batsman, more than handy seamer, a little bit of first class experience with Tasmania, and of course international player with Samoa, Tonga, I believe. Yano Curtsey's developed into a very, very handy first grade cricketer. Who would have known that beginning of last season he was sent back to second grade to reset his career. He'd lost confidence, and to his credit went back, found form, and has returned to first grade, a very accomplished player.
He's got all the skills, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
He's got the whole kit and caboodle. Can field, bat, bowl, best rig.
That's right.
Very important. Good over there from Yano. There's 9 off the first and only 4 off that one. 1 for 15. Yeah, I would imagine 150. West would have to set, considering they bat long, don't they? The students. Their batting lineup, which I'll bring to you shortly. Oh, well, not lineup, the side. This Phillipson's there. Cardi, Don Michael, Jack Clayton, Scott Henry the skipper, Yana Coetzee, Mitchell Fry as your keeper, Nick Sale, Devon Ensbury, Will Sanders and Matt Willems. So, and I can guarantee you Willems and Sanders will back themselves as batsmen, as we all do.
Well, Will certainly got some runs in the 19s, batting in the middle order.
That didn't take long to get to the fence.
Yep.
They've grown absolutely punished that.
Yeah, Matt just dropping short. That just sat up nicely and off the back foot punched through. Extra cover. As Bill Laurie'd say, money for jam.
Again, Billings from the campus end. Yeah, left arm over. He's well fielded there on the backward point. Yes, the Steve McGiffin. Yesterday scoring 43 against Western Suburbs. I think that might have been the grade game. That might be the red ball. Have to double check on that one.
Good running.
Good run, Jack Cardy. The man with the golden arm, as you recall last year. Threw down the stumps left, right and centre.
Absolutely, yeah. Sipple was the guy who got their runs yesterday. He got 44 not out against the Gold Coast and 38 not out against Ipswich Logan. So he'll certainly be one to watch. I dare say he'll be sitting waiting for the nod from Coach Buchanan to come in at the appropriate time.
I don't think he's got all of that. It's along the ground, but I'll get a single. Just tightened them up a little bit, haven't they? The Western Suburbs, the loss of the wicket.
He's slotted into a nice length, Matt.
After getting spanked. You've put another one there. You deserve to be taken off, but he's readjusted nicely. McGiffin, both batsmen going at better than run a ball. And he's got a thick inside edge to that Nick Sale. Just the one again. Happy to do with singles, but the power play, which is only has 2.2 more overs left in it. Where are the guys in the deep? They've got one at
well, they've
long
got
off.
Yeah, they've got protection down at deep third man. The man out at deep, just forward of the umpire on the boundary at square leg. And routine catch.
There you go, just like that. Well, he didn't get hold of it the last two shots either, not quite out of the middle of the screws, and again this time he did the same thing and found the man. I think it might have been Nick Sale.
And the catch was routine, straight to deep, to short mid-wicket, or regulation mid-wicket in actual fact. I'll get it right in the end.
Just walked off. And yeah, holds out, didn't have to move. Two for 23. Students we have, I think probably in the power play you'd probably give up two as a batting side.
Yeah, well, I mean,
three's the test in the friendship.
Yeah, it's interesting that I mean, you know, there was clearly a gap out there. He was going for the gap, hadn't middled the other one, so you suspect that Willen's height's probably giving him a little bit of trouble. So Jarno Coetzee bowling from the river end, bowling his third over. He's got 14 off his first two. West a 2 for 23 off 4.
Straight drive there. haven't seen you since the 2-day grand final between the Suburbs and Valleys. Unfortunately for old Valleys, were made to cook big time. 6 million runs. It's almost like they were playing at a Junction Oval.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Uni's batting towards the tail end of last season was so strong.
Well, Jack Clayton started the season with 100 and he finished it with 100. Mitchell Fry, another one. I think Fry's might have got man of the match, if my memory serves me, but it's not so good anymore, Dave. Saw him going down leg side and he pushed it that way to Yano, cramped him up. Nothing that Sipple could do. Sipple, I was, like I said, in Mackay doing the Youth Cup, and I think there's 3 Sipples running around there. You've got Courtney Sipple who plays for the Heat everywhere. You know, either born or conceived on a cricket ground. Probably born, maybe. Certainly a talent. So Courtney, unfortunately, not getting a lot of games for the Heat because of the star power they had. And Fry's up over the stumps, pushing McGiffin back in. Finds Don Michael. Run on that, I dare you. Yeah, I don't think they want to be going to the power play with anything short of 40.
No, Yano's slotted into a very nice line and length, and that's the end of his over.
It's into 5 overs, 2 for 25. I know it's 5 and over, but still, a power play. Things are going to get a little crazy. And I'll ask you, Dave, as former captain as well. Do you, if you got them this tight, once the power play starts, do you keep the men up, or you, as we say in rugby league, play what's in front of you?
Look, to be honest with you, things can change very, very quickly, can't it, in this? So I'd be inclined to put the men back, because it doesn't matter where you catch them.
No, that's right. But then you look at the other thing, you keep it tight, you suffocate them, they try for a rash shot.
I mean, it would depend on who you've got on strike,
so
of course.
Yeah, defendable, isn't it? It's a great game. Jack Carty gets past him. If you can do that, it's all right. And was on Michael, won't get to that either. I think Tom Michael had a look at Jack Carty. Was that a Sydney Harbour there, mate? It made me run. Yeah, the talk of the Youth Cup with some of the Bulls Masters commentators, Dave, is no other sport do we know to where it can be said it's a funny game. Only cricket. Cricket's a funny game.
It is a funny game.
Yeah, I'd hear it being suggested about, well, Chris Swan mentioned synchronised swimming, but something like that. But yeah, it is a funny game. You can just, especially T20, and I'd imagine between two sides, the odds of who would win are a lot tighter than if it's a red ball game, because anything can happen. 1 over, 2 overs just throws the whole.
That's right. I mean, someone gets hold of your attack and hits 3 sixes, well, and you know, and a 2. There's 20 off 1 over, and you have another bad over. 2 overs, it's a completely different ball game. It can turn very quickly.
So Williams into his 3rd over. He has 2 for 14. Coming from the campus end, waiting from his Sipple. And Sipple has a big swing at that, trying to put that through one of the lecturer's windows. I'll tell you what, it would have been a good catch for Fries if he took it. He would have been sailing towards the creek as well.
Yeah, that would have flown, that one.
Yep.
I mean, the interesting thing will be, as you watch each season, is how tactics change in T20 cricket, how it's changed in Test cricket, and as we saw in the World Cup, in 50-over cricket, teams adopt different game plans and strategies, try to restrict momentum. When they bowl different bowlers, it's a fascinating science in itself. And another wicket to Matt Willans.
Well, he didn't have to move again. That might have been Scott Henry that time, and straight down his throat. Not ideal hitting here from the Bulldogs.
Well, I mean, Matt Willans' height and pace is certainly giving the West players problems. They're struggling to gain anything against him. Clearly, anything dropped short they can hit, but anything pitched up full, it's just with his extra height and his extra pace, he's proving to be very effective. So the new batsman for West is Isaiah Snell. Matthew Willens 3 for 14 off 2.4 overs. A very impressive spell indeed from the young left arm quick. West 3 for 31 off 5.4 overs. McGivern's the other batsman. He's not out 16 off 12 deliveries. So we've got Snell on strike. Willens with 2 balls remaining in this over. Finds the outside edge. And an easy single. So Matt Willens, he would be all of 6'5", 6'6" under the old language. A very athletic young man for his height. And he finishes the over with a good length ball. Excellent over from Willens. West 3 for 32 off 6 overs. So the uni skipper has thrown the ball to Will Sanders. Also fresh from the Queensland 19s team.
What did I miss apart from 5 years of my life? Ooh.
I was very, very impressed, John. You've not lost any fitness over the years. Sanders proved a very handy middle order batsman with the Queensland 19s, and he has shown form with the bat over his years at Brisbane Grammar, but probably best known for his pace. Very handy seamer. Struggled with injury last season. So he's coming back, being nursed back into first grade this year. A very athletic bowler. Good action. Just not quite getting his line that time. So he's got a bit of protection now that the power play's over. He's got third man and a fine leg. He's got an extra cover out on the fence as well. Jack Clayton taking up his normal position on the boundary in front of the umpire at square leg.
Yeah, you talk about the game's changed. Once upon a time, you wouldn't have thought of opening with a spinner.
No, that's right.
Now it's the norm.
That's right.
I don't think it's got anything to do with overrate either. I think it's just...
I mean, it makes common sense, doesn't it? You've got blokes in there who would enjoy the pace of a fast bowler with a new ball, and all of a sudden they've got to change strategies. They've got to actually hit the ball, hit a moving ball.
Oh, look at him. It's all about my fitness. For Izzy.
He's been a revelation in the last 2 seasons. I mean, his form last year in the Premiership was fantastic, and this year, not just with the gloves, already a centurion in 2 matches, I believe, John.
Yep. Well, they talked if Jimmy Pearson was ever to become injured for the Shield, obviously. Lee Drennan is the second 11 keeper. Surely Mitchell Fry must come into calculations.
He would
not so much
have to.
Obviously can keep and definitely can bat. He might be nearly close to a batsman keeper, is he? I think he's pretty well.
He's a no-nonsense keeper. He's not. He's incredibly efficient, but he's not a, what would you call, a conspicuous keeper. He's one of those players who just gets the job done week in, week out. Sort
of like Bradley Clyde. Doesn't do one thing very well, but everything else he does do well. And that's good and large.
Will losing his length there and nearly receiving a bill from me for a dent in my car. Unfortunately, it cleared my car and the next one. And I think there's a Hyundai with a small dent.
If it's a Hyundai, it's going to look like a big dent. They've actually got me Scooter Henry's. His is over there. The white one.
Oh, well. If he picks up a wicket, Scott will forgive him.
Well, you can tell it's Scott Henry's. His has got footprints on the roof. On his inside. And probably 3 or 4 white T-shirts scattered amongst it. So, yeah, it's not a great place to park, but...
Yeah, it must admit, it did cross my mind. That wasn't a smart place to park, but it was either there or walk half a kilometre in the sun, so...
Well, speaking of, I think the breeze, I think, is an easterly, so that may save you heading into the breeze. Looks like is there a change of bowling at that end? Does that look like Devon Edensby?
Looks like Devon's been throwing the ball. He's also had a good season.
He has. He's also just got married. So he looked an absolute treat. I just spoke to him beforehand. He said they went to on their honeymoon before the wedding. How's that for confidence? Went to Fiji for a week and then got married. He's off to Bali. Obviously between the 2 weeks that there's a break of cricket in Premier Grade.
Likes his tropical holidays.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to sweat, you might as well sweat where there's palm trees.
That's right.
Not here. So Henry and Ensby having a bit of a chat about the field. So they're going to push. So this is the end of the power play.
Oh, they're having a chat about the field or Devon's mid-season fitness regime in Bali.
Got a fair idea what it was.
That's right.
Quick single down to Don Michael. Yeah, so the power play's over. So they're allowed 4 out. And those 4 are... We've got a fine leg. Third man. Deep mid-wicket. This is for the left-hander. Yeah, 3 out. I'm missing one, am I?
Down the third man and extra cover out here, or deep forward point, Jack Clayton.
It's not all the way. Were you here last year for that catch?
I was. I was indeed.
That was incredible.
I mean, they talk about John Dyson's catch, and that one has lobbed right in the middle. Got a thick outside edge, trying to hit the ball through mid-wicket, and it's caught an outside edge and fallen safely. So it's still, at that end in particular, we're struggling. against some good university seam bowling.
Ainsby, not tall, but generates a lot of pace.
And he certainly moves the ball. Slight hesitation there, but a very comfortable 2 right from the word go.
I don't know whether they are or not, Dave. I know in the red ball they're using the newly improved Kookaburra balls, but I don't know whether it applies to the white one or not.
Yeah.
Saying a ball that stays harder, sending out a drink to both the batsmen. So whether that helps the bowlers to swing. I haven't seen any swing today, and I haven't seen much movement off the deck either. So they need to pitch it up. Something that Australia didn't do in that first session against Pakistan. At the Gabba, they saw green, went short, and wasn't able to make the breakthrough. They went back to the sheds, got a bit of a tongue lashing from their bowling coach, and came out and pitched it up, and wouldn't you know it, got some wickets.
It's been very interesting to see the change in the way balls have been manufactured over the last 2 decades. For example, you go around to some of the clubhouses where you've got prized balls sitting in trophy cabinets, and you can see the more pronounced seams from 20 years ago. And
well,
what have we got here? We have got an injury. The university player struggling now.
Hey, Mitch. Who we got there? That's not Scotty Henry, is it?
Or is it Jack Clayton? And he has
done something to his right leg.
His right leg. It's either a calf.
I don't know who their 12th man is. They have a 12th man. They would have, but I don't know whether he's gone out there yet.
There are plenty of second grade players here, whether they need to nominate someone, but that does not look good.
No, they only got the 10 out there. Have you got a 12th man, Nick, on the sheet? No, so... Okay, Garrity might be the option. Or the super coach, Peter Clark.
Shane Carty waiting in the wings, still running around in the...
Lucky you got the headsets on, Dave. That might be pointing at you, mate. Yeah.
Still running around in veterans cricket.
Yeah, going all right. How are you going with the heat? Lots of drink space. So, I don't know. Now, Peter Clark's going out with the...
I was trying to get a read on that injury.
Well, I think he must have. Yeah, I think he must have hurt himself. So they're taking the pounder out. There must be a hole somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, we'll take a bit of a break. We'll be back once it's going. Chuck a few tunes on, perhaps. What do you think, Mitch?
Well, that's a huge body blow for University. Jack Clayton's rolled his ankle and could well be out of the game, as little fine edge down the leg side has earned Wes a boundary. So handy runs there to Snell. His addition to the score means that Wes 3 for 52. Seven enders be again. So McGiffin 27, Snell 9, West 3 for 52 at the end of the 8th over. And University potentially down a batsman. Almost certainly down one of their best batsmen.
Well, I can remember a T20 game here where Jack Prestowich had cramps.
That's right, I was here that day too.
He didn't need 2 legs at all.
No, he had 2 arms and a bat, and that's all he needed. And a very good eye.
Hit him large.
Well bowled by Sanders, beating for pace.
Yeah.
Right up in the block hole.
So what, I missed it. What happened? So what happened to young Jack?
Jack's rolled his ankle,
Yeah.
so he will, I dare say, play no further part in the fixture, unless absolutely necessary.
You might do a Graham Smith, except different appendage. South African skipper came on to bat late in the Test match against Australia after I think he busted a finger or something. I can't remember. I don't think it helped though. I think they still lost, didn't they? Yeah.
So Will's Sanders going round the wicket. It's been interesting watching the Test match from Perth. The use of round the wicket bowling, particularly round the wicket short pitch bowling, has been a really intriguing tactic employed by the New Zealand pace attack. They've certainly seen something that has worked.
It's gone to third man, 1 bounce. Yeah, it's maybe they think everybody bats like Cameron Bancroft.
That's right.
Well, like Gully, but they got Smith out that one.
Yeah, and obviously they might find getting their own dose of their own medicine with the unevenness of the Perth wicket coming into day 4 with the likes of Stark and Cummins enjoying the benefits of those widening cracks. As Sanders once again comes into bowl, it really has got a nice action. Watching him side on, but full length, struck out to deep mid off for 1 run.
Yeah, so I sort of have a little bit of a chuckle when they say, I think they found a weakness in Steve Smith's batting. All right, well, you go with that. If you think you keep putting it there, you'll get out. I'm pretty sure he's in the nets till 3 a.m. playing that shot over and over again.
Well, his lack of sleep is renowned, as there's a great save by Jano Coetzee.
We'll be careful, Jano. We don't want to hold it out.
Yeah, well, Steve Smith's lack of sleep when he's getting runs is renowned. I'd hate to think if he's had a comparative run of outs.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens?
When he gets stressed,
He wouldn't want to be on the same floor as Smithy.
Blues TV today brought to you by FDC, the construction and fabricators. FDC, you can see the logo at the back there over the stumps here, along with Green Beacon. I think they're sponsorship of today's broadcast. a doubleheader on first weekend in January. We'll be back here doing it again, Dave. Hope you penciled that one in.
Yes, in between my overseas holidays, I'll scoot in the private jet.
You haven't told the missus, have you? Nope.
Slight adjustment to the field towards the end of that over. Sanders sort of slotting into a handy length, giving the batsman the opportunity to get on the front foot. He brought his third man up and put his deep mid-off back, give him some insurance back there on the boundary. So West still probably a little bit behind the 8 ball at 3 for 58 off 9, is it there, John?
Yep, yeah. Nick Sale's been throwing the ball, and this is a good move. Everything we talked about Mitchell Fry and Don Michael. Obviously, Don Michael's another option for bowling. Nick Sale, he came over from Norse a few years ago. He played second grade, worked his way in the first grade side, and he's made himself a regular. He's
handy cricketer, Nick.
Oh, isn't he?
I mean, he can bat virtually anywhere in the order. He used to be known as an opening batsman and with very little bowling, but now he's probably a bowler who bats down the order. He's a smart cricketer, and he was the one at the other end last evening that got Uni across the line, a very handy 14, while Yano steered the ship home.
Well, reverse sweep, and that's gone off the foot of Mitchell Fry, so that'll be let's see what the umpire calls. It's going to be a leg bite. No, bye. You can't have a leg bite for a keeper, John. Not much Fry could do. That's your trademark loosener there from Nicky Sale.
Another loosener and dispatched the fine leg boundary. So Nick not getting his line right there. A good shot by.
Sorry, mate.
Good shot by McGiffin down there to the boundary. That's deep fine leg for 4. Important period this for West. Nick again just drifting down the leg side for a single. I'm just trying to see who has gone on as the substitute fieldsman for
I think
Uni.
it's Doogie Hill.
Doogie Hill's gone on.
Second grade skipper. Think about 2 here.
Don't think we can claim the concussion rule with Jack as he limped off holding an ankle.
No.
Unfortunately, someone should have got the message out. It was a blow on the head. Got away with that one. Nick firing in a full toss. Scott Henry, the fieldsman at mid-wicket. Nick's found his length, firing him in at the toes of the batsman. Very hard to get away there.
Yeah, he struggled the first ball, and since then he's readjusted and done quite a job. So just 6 off the first over from Nick Sale, and after 10 overs, Western Suburbs, the puppies are 3 for 65. McGiffin is still there. There's Scott Henry in picture there, about to make another bowling change with Devon Ensby coming up from the river end this time. He's switching ends. Didn't like the other end. Could never figure that out. Maybe Nick Sale wanted that end.
Yeah, well, they've taken Will Sanders off. They're holding him back. Devon coming now from the river end.
Well, he's Don Michael at some stage in the middle.
Yeah, I noticed he bowled at the death yesterday.
Jack Carty, the arm. Here it comes. Too late. Good running. Again, just picking off the singles. That's all they need to do. Western Suburbs, 6 and over, will get them up to 130.
And they'll pick up the odd boundary here and there. Wickets will be very important to them. And they've still got the danger man in the run scorer from yesterday, Sipple, to come in. The innings tactics are quite clear. They're going to bowl very full, set the field straight. They've got good coverage out here on the offside, third man, I beg your pardon, the onside, the left-hander, deep man at fine leg, forward of the umpire at square leg, and deep long on. We're continuing to push the singles around.
Yep, it's frustrating. Scott Henry no end, so the left and right hander combination, that's what they're working on. Keeps changing the strike around and messing it up. I'm pretty sure Snell's left-handed, you know. Yeah, no, right-handed, no more luck.
Again, then just be firing it in right at the feet, very full length, not giving the West batsmen any room to swing their hands, swing their arms and get any leverage on the ball. The batsman would certainly be eyeing off that short mid-wicket boundary if he does drop one short.
Had a bit of a look, did McGiffin at the umpire. I think Peter Nolan's at that end. Innisby again from the river end. Right, mate. Full toss, and that's been absolutely smashed. Through extra cover for 4. And Dave Grogan, it got what it deserved.
It did, yeah. That was unfortunate end to what was a good over. And he looks very strong on the front foot. Plenty of gaps out there on the offside, and very easy to find the cover boundary. So, good over for West. So after the loss of those early wickets, a consolidated period of consolidation coming here. So these middle overs will be really, really important.
Don Michael, dare they? Nope.
McGiffin on strike.
He's the danger man, 42 off 30. Another full toss, smashed through extra cover on the other side. So no one's safe. You're going to put it out there. Not even Nick Sale. So it takes him to 46. They're a gift, aren't they? The full toss.
Well, certainly with that short boundary out there, and the outfield is running quickly. Batted well, these two. McGiffin goes to 48. Beg your pardon, 47. Snell's on 16. McGiffin's 47's off 32 balls. Another single.
That brings up the 50 partnership between these two. You've mentioned that today they've been batting very well. Came in when the total was on 31. They lost 1 for 11 when Polson went Smith. When the score was 23 and the last man out was Sipple. The score was on 31. So 50-run partnership between these two. a quick single, but Nick Sale quick out of the blocks.
Yeah, very sensible partnership. You can see that there's been no panic here whatsoever. They've virtually scored off every ball.
Yeah.
And dispatched the occasional boundary. And they'll get 2 here, comfortable 2. Big boundary out here towards the pavilion. Bit of work to do by Jack Carty, and that's the end of that over. So none for 14, Nick Sale. Snell's on 17, McGiffin 43, South 3 for 81.
So we've got another. No, Devon Lindsby's still going to continue from the river end. Needs to. Well, he's trying to pitch it up, isn't he, Dave? But he just a couple of full tosses and absolutely he's got carded through the extra covers there with 1 full toss.
Very nice catch there at mid-wicket. Is that Will Sanders? Yes, it is. Very handy wicket for Uni. Snell departs.
Of course, we haven't got the replay on that one.
So Endersby continues being able to hold his length and line consistently. West had to make the running for that, so they've lost their 4th wicket with a total on 83 off 12 overs. Blake Edwards comes to the crease. Number 21. So 4 for 83 at the start of the 13th over. Endersby bowling to Edwards. He's off the mark. Well fielded by Devon Michael.
Sometimes technology just really annoys me. I just had to get up and get my technician to do something that I thought I could do and failed miserably. Yeah, just launched another missile over the South China Sea. Yeah, but now we've got some replays back. Endersby again from the river end. Again a full toss. That brings up his 50 for McGiffin, well batted, off 35 balls.
It has been a very good innings, and an innings, a very timely innings. Good disciplined bowling by Endersby. It certainly won't give them anything to hit through the onside with that short boundary there. They'll have to run their scores over here on the offside. As again, Devon bowling very full length, not giving the batsmen the opportunity to swing their arms, and a single. Change of bats. Not as many as
No.
Steve Smith.
He's like Roger Federer, isn't he, with his rackets? It was funny, the previous game there was a... Now, I don't know whether this is allowed, but there was a no ball. So it meant a free hit, and the batsman changed his bat.
Oh, really? Brought out the heavy artillery for the free hit.
But so if you can't change the field, surely you can't change your bat. Another full toss. You know what I mean? I don't. I thought it might have been.
I suppose if it's broken, it's broken.
Well, it's broken, but I mean the thing was, it was a no ball before him, and he didn't hit it. So I don't know what happened to the bat. So anyway, into the 13th over, 4 for 86. So they've tightened up a little bit with the introduction of Edwards to the centre.
Blake Edwards 3 for 17 yesterday against Ipswich Logan. Obviously not just a bowler, known for his ability to hit the ball as well.
Yeah, Blake Edwards making the second 11 side for a bowler. I think he got 3 for wickets, 3 for in one game. Mitchell Fry wants to see some changes he might think are a good idea.
And Scott Henry has elected to bring the big quick Matt Willens back into the attack.
Yeah, 1 over to go for Matt Willens, 3 for 15.
He's obviously holding Dom Michael back for the death.
Well, you can only speculate that if they've got 6 left in the shed with 4 to go, they'll need Dom Michael.
Straight under a length. It's been impressive today, the uni seam attack by and large, bowled to a plan.
Only the only spinner, I suppose, Salted Yanakusi with his gentle offies. Let's see. Anyone else that might be alternative for University other than... What is Scott Henry bowling?
Scott Henry occasionally bowled in the longer form of the game. I don't think he bowls in these.
Michael Phillipson?
Michael Phillipson's certainly one that they can turn to. Yano has an over left, I believe. Will Sanders has a couple left.
Left arm big around the wicket.
Big
Oh,
outside
good
edge.
catch there
Big
from
outside edge.
Fries.
He's been very impressive today, Matt Willens. He's come off a very busy week over in Perth, but that hasn't affected him. He's in good form, really good form. I mean, in the shorter form of the game, the ball was there to be hit, but Mitchell Fry was certainly up to the task. He would have taken that, certainly in front of first slip, if there was one. So Edwards departs for 3. McGoffin's still there on 52. Wes 4 for 89 off 13.2 overs. Very interesting stage of the fixture. New batsman is Sam Denian. Four for 17 off his 3.3 overs. Willens as he comes in again. Again, that very full length, not giving the West players any ability to play a full range of movement.
Well, more importantly for University, they got rid of the dangerous McGiffin.
Very good innings by McGiffin. Not an ideal time to lose him either as you reach the back end of your innings. Must be mindful. Uni are down a batsman.
Nick Sale. Yes, that's right. Jack Carty assisted from the field with a right ankle.
Yeah, classic roll of the ankle, came up like a balloon very quickly. So I guess if anything's to be said, I mean, he's got the Christmas break to rehab that.
That's right. Yeah, so I suppose if you're ever going to do an ankle, so you'll just get me hand-fed prawns, ham, beer. We'll look out now. No ball.
You're lucky the Claytons aren't planning on that hiking vacation. Tasmanian hiking vacation.
Well and truly over the front foot line there by a good couple of inches.
Yeah, he lost his rhythm there, didn't he?
Anyway, get a free hit. So Willens needs to be full. And he's that. But up to the task is Edwards and smashes that through extra cover for 4. So that's 5 runs off 1 ball. Yeah, Willens. End of his spell. Didn't want to end it that way.
No, that was an unfortunate end. But anyway, he's had a good stint.
Yeah, so
generally bowled very well.
Steve McGiffin, 52 off 38 balls, 5 fours and a 6. Edwards is 7. Ian on 1. The other player to get to double figures is Snell with that partnership of 50 with McGiffin, so they haven't really helped out too much the rest of the batsmen for the Bulldogs other than McGiffin. That's the nature of T20. A lot of players can get 10 each. Well, that's 100. 5 for 96 in the 15th over. Certainly didn't want to lose that wicket because they were cruising towards 150 there.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get to 140 now, that they'll be doing well.
Full toss. Oh, sent back. Definitely wasn't 2 there. Edwards had no intention of turning for another.
Well, Uni have got the 2 fieldsmen on the straight boundaries, and they've got the man on the boundary at deep 4 to square. There's still that vacancy in the mid-wicket region. But Endersby is bowling too well. He's not giving the batsman any room. But they've picked up 2, and they'll chip away with those.
Yeah. Enzy got a couple of boundaries put away from full tosses, but he's back. 23 off his 125 or 3.5 overs. 3 balls to go. So approach 100. So Denian, not sure of his batting capabilities, but sometimes you don't need a lot. You just need to be able to on the middle of the bat. And full toss, and it's going to go through extra cover. Jack Carty comes around. I'll turn for 2, and they'll do it easily. They're finding the gaps. The Bulldogs.
Well, they're certainly going to have to run them out here. This is the big long boundary out towards the Webb Harris Pavilion, and Jack Carty doing the boundary riding out here. Puffing a bit hard, Jack, after a couple of runs.
Yeah, not showing puffing.
Good change of pace there by Devon.
That's another thing you don't see a lot of anymore in Test cricket, is the slower ball.
Haven't seen a lot of it in this particular series.
Oh.
Or they're far more subtle about the slower ball. I did hear on the radio commentary Glenn McGrath talking about the occasional knuckleball. I think Tim Southey was the exponent yesterday.
Yeah, it's something you just don't see anymore, like Yorkers. So that's the end of the over there. And a good spell there from Devon Ensby. 4 overs, or 1 for 28. So now Williams and Ensby both have used their 4 overs. Yano Cootsy's got 1 left in the bank. Will Sanders has got 2. Ensby 1 and Nick Sale's got 2. Now
and Dom Michael, as predicted.
Genius. Coming on from the campus end. He had a great time in South Australia, Don Michael, in the T20 Challenge. I'm guessing that's on again. The winner of this competition will go down to, I'm not sure where, for the club championship for T20s.
Yeah, that has been a great initiative of Cricket Australia, hasn't it, to recognise the efforts of club cricketers. Geez, we went close too.
I'll tell you what, I aged something in that last over.
Yeah.
Dave Grogan. I was texting Jeff Tees, the club president, who was doing nothing, which is not unusual. But anyway.
Full credit to Carlton. They hung in there, didn't they? When there was that critical run out, wasn't there? The critical run out where it looked like we were cruising home, and the wheels got a bit wobbly after that.
If memory serves, I think University played Carlton first and beat them. Or did they lose? I can't remember now, but what a great carnival it was.
It was a fantastic carnival. Bowled by Dom Michael. he's got a bag of tricks.
I think Edwards had gone through that shot. He probably could have come back and had another go at it. He went that early. I have to double check where that is. I'll ask. Around, that's obviously T20's the other side of Christmas as well. Is Michael again from the camp? Well, he saw him coming, bounced him. It's going to be called a wide. No, because he was not in his normal stance. He charged him. So good work from Don Michael.
Well, that's right. He certainly wasn't subtle in his movements there. The striker.
Darndest thing.
So Dom Michael making some adjustments to the field, suggesting that won't be the last short ball that he gets. And this is the long boundary hitting into the breeze. And the slower bouncer as variation.
There you go. Hey, no ball from.
That one was called by the squealing umpire.
So we get a free hit. Well, what happens now? Well, you know, I reckon the cagey Don Michael will do the same thing, short, but he'll be right in the ribs. No, well, hasn't gone over head height, so he's got away with it. He's a genius, Don Michael. He's pulling out all the tricks. He should be in something movie. There, you see me? Just a magician.
Well, he's certainly outthought.
He's got 1 against him in this over, and that's the no ball, so nothing off the bat. And then tries the full-length Yorker. Just the 1 into the deep. Now, we're just talking about how some overs can change a game, and this one may very well do this.
Yeah, this certainly has put the brakes on Wes.
So they pushed fine leg right back onto the rope for Denian. So is there another short one or just mind games? Well, he's just...
They're having a lot of problems with Dom's change of pace.
It's just... It's what we call... He's messing with it. So Denian just needs to keep his head. Just wait and see what Don Michael bowls him before. It's almost premeditated what he's doing. He's swinging early, charging early, and Don Michael's reading him like a book at the moment.
Well, there's a lesson for anyone on death bowling. He has really outsmarted the West batsman. Very clever bowling by Don Michael. Mixture of short balls, full balls, varied his pace. He's asked a few questions of these West batsmen who are obviously doing their best to keep the scoreboard ticking over, but got to keep your eye on the ball.
Sanders is coming back into the attack, so just a 2 off the Don Michael over. 16 overs gone, 5 for 105, so...
This will be interesting because Will can go for a couple. He's gone for 17 off his 2 so far. If he drops one short, my car's in danger.
Wind is pushing things around. Let's push our camera around. We'll change that at the end of the innings.
Well bowled.
Sanders with a trademark grunt.
It keeps it full. They're going to have to play well across the line to score or take a risk to score. Because there's plenty of coverage out there on the boundaries, out here at extra cover and long on and long off.
Hit that in the air, but it's going to...
Great catch by Scott Henry.
Scooter.
Great. Showing the legs of someone 10 years his younger. Probably made 20, 30 metres there. Ball held up long enough for Scooter to take a very comfortable catch. And there's a wicket to Will Sanders, maintaining his line and length. Critical wicket too, because that's where West have lost a couple of wickets quickly. And so that's the end of Denian. As Scott Henry made really good ground.
He did. All I see there is 2 torn hamstrings. Mine, not his. So they lose their 6th wicket for 106. The batsmen are going to have a drink.
So the new batsman is Anthony Atkinson. Powerful hit straight down the ground, well saved by Yano Curtsey. West 6 for 107 off 16.3. Another full length ball by Sanders. Again, good disciplined bowling by the University attack. Not giving the West batsmen anything at the moment. 1 ball remaining in this particular over. Important for Will to finish off well. Edwards on strike. He's 12 off 15 deliveries. It looked like Will went for the slower ball and it has been dispatched over the fence. Expensive last ball, 6 to Edwards. Strong hit. Very fine hit. So West 6 for 114 off 17. Beg your pardon, 6 for 108. As we wait for the scoreboard to tick over, Dom Michael will resume proceedings at the Union College end. Was 114. Edwards 18 off 16. Atkinson sultry 1 off 2 deliveries. He's on strike. Michael the bowler. And bowled him. Tried to work him away on the offside by the looks and chopped it on. Just watching the replay now. Yeah, there it is. Inside edge. Had to do a bit of work to get it back onto the stumps, but again, good bowling by the University attack. Very disciplined bowling. Not allowing the West batsmen to get any rhythm whatsoever. So Paddy Dooley, the captain's the new batsman at the crease. He's a left-hander, which will give West the advantage of a left-right combination.
Down leg side, so wide. Not sure why he changed to go around. Different batsman, being a left-hander, I suppose. We talk about the whole round the wicket stuff. So I think about two, looking at each other. I really rate that this spell from Dom Michael.
Well, you can see why Scott Henry has held his
Yeah.
full allotment of overs till the death. He's a really experienced bowler with a bag of tricks and has shown a good array of them this afternoon. Good change of pace there. Dug that one in at the body. Once again, not giving the batsman any room.
Well, he's tended to think that Edwards and Dooley will go after him. They're just trying to suffocate and push him back.
Well, certainly, if they want to hit the ball in the air under this offside, there's 6 willing hands waiting for them. There's the short ball again.
That's pretty bad.
Dom pitching short and just offering the batsman the opportunity. Have a hit at this. Hit into the breeze. Do the best you can.
I am working for UQ TV, Blues TV, brought to you by FTC Construction, but that should have been called a wide. That was there's no way he could reach that one. Not a no ball, it should have been a wide. Anyway, so the umpires are out there for. And that's going to go in the air. And a chance, no, falls short of Edmondsby, just the one. He's going to do it again. He's going to bowl an over with one sundry in each. And not much else.
The skipper, Dooley on strike. Nice clean hit down to...
Just the one. You know, when you watch when Shane Warne was bowling, you always knew something was going to happen. Why is it the same thing with Don Michael?
Yeah, I mean...
Something's... I just don't know what's going to happen. It's not consistently banging in one area or the same pace. It's just variety, and that's why he's had 2 overs, 1 for 5. It's ridiculous. It's a very strong tail that Uni rolled out. Dooley and Edwards, very handy. Just outsmarted by the international. Is he an international?
Well, Tongan international, first class cricketer for Tasmania. Yeah. He's got a very impressive resume. Premiership player with university.
Littered with international. Hamish Garden with stress fractures of the feet.
That's right. Played for Scotland.
Played red ball, but this is a far different beast, so he's just given it a breather, so he'll have the month off, get himself back.
So we go from the experience of Don Michael to the youthful exuberance of Will Sanders. And Will certainly, I mean, he's almost pushing off the side screen. He's got a long run, a very rhythmic run though.
He too bowling around the wicket to the left-hander. There's a mix-up.
Oh, that is a magnificent run out by Uni. Good throw by Cardi from deep in the outfield. Hesitation from the West batsman and well short of his ground. Yes, no, I'm going back, but I'm too late.
Good angle from the sideline here. It was a good throw. Who else? Who else but that man Cardi? Not the greatest throw. Good pick up by Mitchell Fry on the half volley. He just gets his man by 2 inches. Good work. And you'll see a clap from Frizy. He's very happy with that. The umpire's right in the position. Here it comes. How are you supposed to make a decision at that pace?
That's
outstanding.
Right. So Ryan Taslar is the new batsman. Paddy Dooley, the skipper, at the non-strikers end. 2 new batsmen, and not what West really needed at this stage of their innings.
No, and
it's been a really impressive bowling performance by Uni. I know we've talked about their plan. They play to a plan, they bowl to a plan, they field to a plan.
Sanders gets his first wicket. The run out. He'll take it.
He's got one before.
Well, I've got to put it down to the bang on the same door, but Don Michael's just absolutely put the brakes on any chance of Western Suburbs creating a total that's defendable. And as Dave Grogan mentioned before, the Blues are down a batsman, a very good batsman in Jack Carty, coming off with an ankle injury whilst fielding. So they would have opened with Jack, I would have thought, Dave. So that's going to be a reassessment for Phillipson and Henry now.
Jack Carty's opened the batting as well. There's a few options there. It's well struck, right up the slot hole. Gave him a bit of width.
Straight through Cover point, good shot. First boundary since the 6th, I think. So Sanders needs to finish this off. Undo what the good work done at the other end. We talk about batsmen batting in partnership, so do bowlers. They need to keep the pressure on from both ends. Can't give them any relief. Tasler, if he gets on strike, he's devastating, the big fella.
Swing and a miss.
And went for a walk. Zuli.
Well, they're going to have to take a few risks here, Wes, and anything that's remotely short is going to come out this way. Anything remotely up is going to go straight.
Yeah, we've got 8 balls remaining.
I just remember a couple of years ago, Andrew Goad, who might have been on this strip, absolutely punishing. Well bowled again. Punishing the uni bowlers, particularly over that short mid-wicket boundary. I mean, Goad's an outstanding club cricketer by any measure, but you can, with 3 or 4 boundaries, 3 or 4 sixes, you can transform a total very quickly. He got 100 that day in very quick time by peppering that short boundary.
He is an absolute machine, Andrew Goadie. I think he bowled 40 overs in that final in searing heat, and he's a redhead, and you know
that's right.
Makes it even harder, but he just kept toiling away. And what's long about a month beforehand where he actually had a bad knee.
That's right. He was hobbling around. Change of pace by Will.
Where's that gone?
Must have got a bit of bat.
Peter Noel hands the cap over, so that's the end of the 19th over. The Puppies 8 for 124. It might be 8 for 125, a single off the last. And the Magician will bowl the last over.
I mean, if they can get up to 140, you would say they've certainly got, they've presented Uni with a target. I mean, anything over 130, I suppose, is going to be competitive, but 140 is starting to get in that region where the heat's on, given that Uni are going to be a batsman down.
Left-handed Dooley. Good bowling from Michael Full, just outside off stump. The corridor of uncertainty, as they say. The avenue of apprehension. What else is the bowler just called? An array of terminologies for a ball just outside off stump. So send fieldsman back on the fence on Cow. He's got Jack Carty 5/6 of the way to the boundary, maybe 3/4. He's got a fine leg on the ropes as well, so he's conjuring something, but there's nobody inside the circle, so there's probably 2 runs on this short side. See what happens.
And Tasler has got a nice little top edge, attempted to pull the ball, well caught by
Doogie Hill.
Doogie Hill.
Showman.
Got himself into the game.
Doogie Hill gives himself a bit of a fist bump as if to say, I should win this. So you can just see he knew he was out, goes for a walk. Mitchell Fry's happy. Straight into the pouch there of Doogie Hill. And they lose their ninth wicket. Had to go for it.
They do have to go for it. They need to try and find the boundary in this last over.
Aidan Waterson is the final batsman for the Puppies. And Don Michael gets the wicket. Don Michael, look at that. 2 for 7.
This will be interesting. Over the fence. Short boundary. That one was in the slot and cleared the fence quite comfortably in the end with the breeze.
Look at there. Did he go over the fence? Don Michael, somebody put some kryptonite out there for a second. Comes back, puts that one right on the toes.
Try and get two here. No. Well fielded.
Is the skipper Scott Henry, was he?
Michael Phillips.
Oh, might be Ching, yeah.
Is it Michael's gate out there?
Yep. I think that's Scott Henry out at the top of your picture, just disappearing now, or in the number one. Two to go. Unless he does something funky. Just a single to Nick Sale. Yeah, apart from that six, it was almost an unblemished bowling spell from Don Michael. He's not finished yet. He still wants to sort the field. 2 for 15 off 3. Take 6 off that from that last shot 2 balls ago. And
yeah, he doesn't want any boundaries off this last ball, so he's not going to give the batsman any opportunity to hit it over that onside. He's bringing the man from deep 4 to square on the boundary. He's bringing him into a regulation position. So
goes for a bit of walk. They'll take the single. Fry bowls it down to the other end, and that will be the end of it. It's a bye to finish off the innings for Western Suburbs. 9 for 135. 136 required by the students. Jack Carty's out of action, so they'll only have the 9 batsmen, or the 10 batsmen, I should say. But yeah, interesting. Have they got enough, Dave Grogan?
Yeah, Jack Clayton rather than Jack Carty. So, I mean, runs on the board are important. West have got a very good, very even attack. Looking through yesterday's performances, the wickets were shared around. Edwards, Tazler, Dooley, all capable of tying down and taking wickets. So Uni boys are going to have to be very careful about this. Now, interesting question will be is how they approach it. Will they really unleash the big guns in the power play? Jack Carty, you can see him jogging off. It looks like he will open the innings. If he can get those broad shoulders swinging and make the power play pay for the students, then it'll go a long way towards knocking this 130 plus score off. West will be after early wickets to put Uni on the back foot, but you would certainly think at this point in time, probably a 50-50 call, I think, John.
So. I think so. Yeah. No, well, we'll take a break. We'll remain on screen there. We'll have the second half coming up. Second half. Footy season's not far away, is it? We'll have the second innings coming up here. The students chasing 136 to go, 3 from 3. We're back soon. Welcome back for the run chase here for the students. 136 is the target they require, and Jack Carty and Michael Phillipson will open the batting. Dooley will try and get the breakthrough wherever they're going to open with spin. We've got former club captain and coach as well, Dave Grogan, joining us here in commentary on Blues TV. Dave, well, we spoke about it in the first innings, how the game's changed with spinners opening the bowling. Well, they're going to use Dooley first up. Good move.
Yeah, well, he opened the bowling yesterday, I noticed in the second game, and took some wickets. So took 2 for 24 against the Gold Coast. He'll be hoping to repeat that today. He's got the big hitting Jack Carty, who's off the mark very quickly, and the wily experience of Michael Phillipson. If he can get into his groove today, Michael, particularly with that short boundary over mid-wicket, he could certainly make things interesting for West. But notwithstanding Jack Clayton's injury, you would think that Uni's batting depth would be strong enough to see them home today.
Around the wicket now.
Finds the gap nicely, Phillipson. And they'll get a comfortable 3 out to the long boundary towards the pavilion.
Yeah, the thing about Michael Phillipson is if they had have won that one day final, I think that might have been his 9th or 10th title.
Extraordinary.
He's been around forever.
Extraordinary career.
Highest than anybody on the planet, I think. But anyway, he's non-strikers at the moment. Interesting that Dooley going over the wicket to Jack Carty. Let's see if he swings back around to Michael Phillipson. So he can throw the over nice and quick. Phillipson using his feet.
West will be very keen for an early breakthrough here, John, won't they?
Yeah, they need to get 2 or 3, or at least 3, you would think, in the power play. There's an appeal. By Nolan says no.
I thought that was a bit high, but anyway.
What we think, unfortunately. But it's Michael Phillipson on his day. He's just an absolute pleasure to watch. I could sit back and watch Michael Phillipson on his day all day. It's just a pleasure to watch.
He scored 100 down at East Redlands last year, which could only be described as brutal.
Well, that's it. He's on song. He's devastating. He's a match winner on his own, both with bat and ball. Surprised he didn't bowl. I don't know whether he's got an injury. I think he broke his thumb last summer, whether he's bowled that much at all, but obviously you got Don Michael. At the end of the first over, number 6. Required was around about 6.5. Open with pace from the campus end. Blake Edwards, second 11 selection earlier this month, or maybe was it late last month, but yeah, certainly got some wheels. And the 140 mark. And Michael Phillipson will like that. I think
he likes the ball coming on him.
It should be good. Strap yourselves in. Here we go. Oh, all right. Don't poke the bear.
So,
what they got?
They've got a man at this position just in front of the umpire on the boundary at square leg. They've got the obvious one at third man on the boundary, covering that short boundary down there. The rest all in single saving position in the circle, of course, of the power play. Michael going.
You can't stay in the crease, can he? You just got to get out.
No, there'll be no grey area with Michael. He will. He won't leave us wondering. He will go after Edwards here.
For those of you who want to know what's happening with the other cricket match, Australia declared and 9 down. He's going to need 460 odd. 1.5 days to do so. Well, he's whipped that off his pad. He's beaten the fieldsman who's up inside the circle, and that's gone for 4. So he's just straight on pads there.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there to this field with the fine leg up inside the circle. There was no margin for error there. Particularly with his pace, Michael able to get a little bottom edge on it and raced away to the boundary.
Moves again. Full toss. Straight back to the bowler. Yeah. Michael Phillips, he's busy at the crease. Can throw the bowlers off. I know Luke Feldman always kept an eye on where the batsmen were batting out of the crease, how far. You've got to adjust. And sometimes by the time you get back, obviously they're going to change that. 1-2 steps. That's a slower ball. There's just been dabbed down to third man for 1. Brings Jack Carty on now. This will be good. Who do you reckon's been told to be the anchor?
That's right. I don't know that Jack or Michael, both of them on their day can be brutal. There's no doubt about that. And Jack will be licking his lips at anything short.
He's got a third man. And then one, if that's a fieldsman, way out there near your car. I hope he can jump.
Well fielded.
Yeah, that was 4. Short boundary on this side. They're using the pitch on the far side of the block here from the Webb Harris Pavilion. The shorter side, so it's the end of second over. None for 11. Target of 136.
Change already. Dooley is off. So they'll certainly keep the uni batsmen guessing. They won't want to get them into any rhythm with only 136 to play with.
Well, if they get through this power play without a wicket down there,
puts Uni in a very strong position.
Definitely. I'll change the minds of Jack Carty on the stick list. A couple of steps out, and Michael Phillipson checks his bat. Yeah, the over before he actually tried to work the grip down, which seems to be slipping. So he's signalled to the square leg, to the bleachers for another bat. Waterson comes into the attack. He finds a man again. Yeah, so maybe that's the tactic for Western Suburbs, just change the bowlers.
Yeah, keep the batsmen guessing, not let them get into any rhythm, shift the field around. But Waterson slotted into a good line and length early. I was just going to say, John Michael's certainly looking at that straight boundary down there. And there it goes.
You picked it, Dave Grog, and that's a massive. That's over mid-off, do you mind? Absolutely murdered that ball.
Yeah, that was flat and low. And somewhere down there.
Somewhere down near the River Cat.
Yeah.
City Cat. So
we'll have a little breather here while Michael Phillipson changes his gloves and a couple of West players go into the next suburb to find the ball.
But it's you talk about those field changemen. I like to use the term the Baz theory of field placement, where Brendan McCullum just had a habit of changing the field every ball for no reason whatsoever except to mess with a batsman's head. And it does. I mean, it's almost like a left and right-handed combination for a bowler, but.
Well, that's right. I suppose if you think of what a batsman's looking for, he knows where the gaps in the field are, and then the next ball, the gaps
Yeah.
One gap closes, another one opens, so he just has to slightly change his technique. And what he's looking for, what he's trying to do, the nature of the short form of the game. As much played in between the ears as anywhere else. And McCullum, very experienced skipper, without doubt.
So Waterson has to adjust. Michael Phillipson's got one out of the screws already. Is this the start of something big? Well, he's certainly eyeing off another one down there. It was a full ball, didn't get it away. He needs to be full there. Any half volley and lose another ball. Doing absolutely nothing out there at the moment.
Yeah. From a university point of view, I'd really like to see Phillipson bat well into this total.
You just can't stay there, can you?
No. He is going to go after the bowler, and as you do in the power play.
Waterson, what do I do? At the moment, it's just the one scoring shot off his over, so it might use the maximum, but finds the fieldsman. So
that's a good over apart from that 1-6. So the bowling change worked well for West. Let's see what they do at the other end. They're going to stay with Edwards.
Another third over, number 17, Phillipson. Both of them just scoring just about run a ball. Carter yet to find the fence, but while Phillipson's doing so, there's no need for the big unit to get going. Look like DeVito and Schwarzenegger out there having a chat in the middle field. Well, Arthur Summons and
yeah.
I haven't seen Jack for about not since the final. And I'm sure he's just gotten bigger if it's possible. Not overweight. He just seems to look like he's hit the gym. He looks very strong.
That has gone very, very high and very, very long.
Well, the toothpick in his hand just sent it to the. Sent that a long way. Have a look at him. He just knows that's got over the fence for 6.
I think he's sort of hitting it, playing it as though he wasn't really satisfied with the way he middled that. But such is his strength. And that he's got a slight breeze helping him.
Born again, and that'll get 4. It's along the grass. One bounce.
Jack Carty, if he gets hold of a few here, he can do some serious damage. I saw it, can't remember whether it was last season, season before, out at Sandgate. He smashed the Sandgate attack to all parts. If he gets those big shoulders and big arms moving, he can find that boundary very quickly.
That was flat. I reckon that was one bounce in the rope down there, and that was flat. That's not. That's over third man. And that is only 4 runs. Come on, Jack, lift your game.
Well, that would have gone all of 50, 60 metres. He's making the bowler pay for some errant length.
Well, I'll ask you again. Who's the anchor bats?
Yeah, that's right.
I
think they're still deciding.
They haven't worked it out yet. I think when a wicket falls, then they'll decide it's the guy at the other end who comes out. At the moment, Western Suburbs have got to stop this. This could be over very soon. Edwards again to Carty.
Oh,
Carty again over extra cover.
That is brutal.
Absolutely brutal. The big unit.
Very much to the joy of a very vocal group of university supporters, enjoying a bit of shade down here on the western boundary, taking up their customary position on the grass.
Yeah, none of the lower grades playing this weekend. They played a 50 over format yesterday. Thirds down. Look out what happens here. Good comeback from Edwards on the block hole.
Shane Carty, Jack's dad, watching on.
Yeah, they don't look alike. Shane and Jack. Don't know whether Jack went anywhere in the off-season. I know he's in the year before, whether he's playing or just partying. It's really weird. There's a man out there. Square for one.
I think he went overseas the previous year. Had a little bit about life and touring, and had a couple of beers, I gather, at Oktoberfest, as you do.
I love Jack Carty. It's the end of the over, and Carty's actually retained the strike here now. For whomever may be coming on, we've got a change.
Yeah, Dooley rotating his bowlers at the river end.
Waterson again, isn't it? Might be Tasler, I think. That is it, Tasler. Backward of point or through third man, 4 more.
There is no margin for error with Carty in this sort of form, because he hits the ball hard. If it goes to either side of the fieldsman, it is going to be a boundary.
Good, that little kid picked it up, stuck his skinny little arm through the fence, picked it up for the West player. Tasler, welcome to the crease. Welcome to the centre. Just the one.
Seems a while since we've seen Michael on strike. But on strike he is.
Ryan Tasler, his brother Andrew, out there, son of one of the nicest blokes you'll ever want to meet, Dirk Tasler.
Well, Michael seems positively tame compared to Jack at the moment. So I guess if we're talking about anchormen, that's befallen Michael by default.
It's the commentator's curse on him. Well, and given that there's 1.5 overs still left in the power play, so maybe
yes,
then maybe you just
Phillips
decide
can certainly claim his share of the action. Tasler comes in again. Didn't quite get hold of that, but it's cleared the field, and it will run out almost to the boundary.
Yeah, using his feet again to the quicks. Michael Phillipson picks up 3. That's well run considering it's the shortest boundary. You see him working on that handle. Maybe he's only got the one bat.
Yeah, he had a few problems with his gloves before. The grip obviously sliding.
Now, Ryan Tasler has got to take on Jack Carty again, unscathed so far. It's down leg side. That's a wide. Do that one again. Still yet to get a wicket out of the Western Suburbs. They got some firepower. They got Tasler, Blake Edwards. Still yet to make a mark. Nothing comes close. No LBW shouts. No playing misses. If anything's just fallen into the middle between 3 fieldsmen after it's been hit high in the air.
Well bowled by Tasler, not giving Carty any room there, and that's what Jack relies on, is just a little bit of a slight margin for error, and he can swing those shoulders and arms, and giving that opportunity in the power play in particular. Very hard batsman to bowl to.
He's more of the get the left leg out of the way type of
Yeah.
header than Phillipson uses his feet. And Phillipson asking for new gloves. So 5 overs down, none for 45, so they're going at 9 and over.
Well, West desperately need a wicket. They probably need 2. Try and get 2 new batsmen in quick succession. Uni would be very comfortable with the way these 2 players have gone around it.
It's like the Alamo day. They just keep coming, though.
Yeah.
You've got Yana Coetzee, you've got Scott Henry, Don Michael.
Mitchell Fry, very handy.
Nick Sale. But they don't have Jack Carty.
Jack Clayton.
Clayton, sorry.
Who hopefully is sitting at home watching the telecast streamed.
Yes. Well,
Icing his ankle.
His ankle.
That's right.
So Phillipson, re-gloved, ready to take on Blake Edwards. Well, it's gone high.
And it's gone long enough to get to the boundary. No. Now, if it hadn't rained during the week, I would have said it would have been a boundary, but it's just a little bit softer. It certainly had some height on it. Another 3 to Uni.
Probably the longest boundary on the ground. That
it is. Yep.
Web. Brings Jack Carty, and again they run 3. As we mentioned earlier in the first innings, West, between 40 and 50 in the power play, and they're doing pretty well, so they're nearly to 50.
Oh dear! Now get away from that car.
Oh, well, there was a big groan there. That might be the green car. What's yours?
Mine's the black Jeep. So
you're safe there.
Yeah.
Where that went.
He certainly got hold of that one, and I think the green one might be sporting a little dent. Oh, there was their chance. You got to take those if you're going to rein in this university batting lineup. So there's a chance gone down. Thick outside edge from Carty. Keeper made good ground in fairness, but he got 2 gloves to it.
Brings Phillipson 21 off 18. Jack Carty 32 off 15. Steps out of his crease there.
That is very high. This will take a good deal of catching, and catch it they have. Very good catch.
It was high in the sky for a long, long time, that one. Good catch in the end there by Bulldogs mid-wicket fieldsman. Long, long time. Michael Phillipson just kept running. 21 off 18, and Western Suburbs make the breakthrough 3 minutes, or 2 balls before the end of the power play.
The skipper, Scott Henry, has come in at number 3 in the place of the injured Jack Clayton, in case you haven't...
where he is, Sam.
Yeah, in case you haven't heard, Jack Clayton rolled his ankle quite badly, in fact, while fielding, and he's taking no further part in the fixture, so University in effect are a batsman down, and a very good batsman at that. So Scott Henry gets his opportunity up the order. So there'll be 2 left-handers on strike, which is interesting. Scott, who's had his own injury woes this season, he's had a couple of seasons with hand injuries, broken fingers and thumbs and whatnot, so he'll enjoy the opportunity today. Got a very handy 20-odd yesterday, as I recall, in one of the games. I mean, thereabouts this season with some useful contributions.
I think you'll find he'll be the anchor man now.
Yes.
But he's a Gow-like or Mark or like very beautiful stroke maker. Well, you got the big bash of Jack Clayton at one end. You just see some lovely on drives and off drives from Scotty Henry. He's just a complete cricketer. Played a lot first class cricket for New South Wales as well as Queensland. Didn't he play for Queensland?
Got a couple of games for Queensland,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, for New South Wales. So, but anyway, he's at the non-striker end, and they want to keep him there. Cardi Slash is the one well fielded again. Well, the man who took that catch at the end of the wicket, taking over there for McGiffin. Blake Edwards, there we go. We changed that in the middle of that over. 81 off 85 balls. Certainly doable. 1 wicket down, or we could technically say 2 wickets down.
That's right. And I mean, if they could pick up Carty now, that would do a lot to get West back into the fixture.
Scott Henry on. Take guard. Got a Dooley back into the attack. His first over just costing him 6. From FDC is your sponsor today of Blues TV, both these second grade game this morning and this afternoon. Construction and fabricators. So.
Busy action.
I just saw that ball go through
Paddy
there.
Dooley.
I just saw Matthew Wade's wicket then. Just to come in a few inches and. Yes, if they can get Jack Carty out, that certainly brings 2 new batsmen to the crease. But Henry wants to get off the mark to start with. Goes for the ramp shot. They might actually come. I don't know whether he hit that or he has, and he's hit it straight in the chest.
It's an effective chance.
Yeah,
would have been a good one.
Yeah, take with your teeth. Okay, Jack Carty on strike. Still the power. Oh no, power play's over, so they can send 4 out. One of them's mid wicket, one at mid on, mid off.
Hold him.
He's played that on.
There's the wicket that West needed. So both the University opening batsmen have now gone in the space of an over. Clever manipulation of attack by the skipper, Dooley, and he has got rid of the very dangerous Jack Carty. As we watch on replay. Yeah, attempting to hit him through that cover area, and Dooley's managed to find the gap between bat and pad and knocked him over. So Jack will be disappointed, but nonetheless he's played a critical role in getting off to a good start. He's out for 32.
Yeah, Kutsi were in the 28.
Yep.
So 2 new batsmen at the crease here for University of Queensland, Western Suburbs. All of a sudden their chances have got a pulse. It was all looking oh so grim when Carty and Phillipson were going nuts, and Yana Kutsi comes to the crease. Well, Bold Dooley pitched it up there. Albeit an inside edge, but doesn't say that in the book. It says bowled.
Yano coming off 62 not out yesterday afternoon when Uni's last ball went over Sandgate. So today brings another challenge.
Calling the saviour.
Looked as it just held up a little bit.
Yeah, I thought so.
So the change of pace, Uni obviously relishing the quicks, the new ball, the quicker bowlers, the power play. Game ended as another phase now. Dooley opting for his own spin, able to set slightly more defensive field placings. Uni going to have to work harder for their runs. 2 new batsmen at the crease.
A little bit uppish as well. One's mid on for a single. Good over from Dooley. Real good over. 6 off his first. He gets 1 for 2 out of that one. Chat in the middle between Yana Kutsi and Scott Henry would be it's about 10 and see where we are from then. Get 4 and over. That's taking well and truly over or getting close to 100, and they can launch the last 4 overs. So a lot of mind games here, and for Dooley, he's got to trying to manufacture wickets. Now, McGiffin, I think that's him continuing from the campus end. 10 off his first over. Henry over Gully. It's going to be good fielding. Ran that one in, but it's not. It's beaten the sweeper. So Scott Henry. There's class off the back foot there. There's a bit of Henry's gone over extra cover. Lands safely. Good top spin. Oh, well fielded.
Mind seeing the replay of that one.
Scott's
making his intentions very clear. Good dive, and I would say that's a 4. But
well,
no, maybe not.
Arm on the line.
I would have thought arm on the line, but you can't blame the fieldsman. He wouldn't have known.
No, that's right, so. It's in the book. Diving it down to the third man is Yana Kutsi. So anything's short of length, Scott Henry seems to be going after. Slashing it over third man or extra cover.
Yeah, well, Scott will be using his experience. He won't want West to get on top here. He's got to keep the momentum going. Left-hand, right-hand combination for Uni will be useful too.
Giffen seems to be a little bit more expensive than Dooley would like. Two balls to go, 1 for 18. He's got the wicket. It's a better ball, Henry. Interesting, Scott Henry, even though the keeper's back, still bats with his left foot in the crease. Straddles the crease by the looks of things, left and right foot.
Yeah, he's actually he's quite deep in the crease.
Yeah, right. Let's see, might be the end of the over, and it is. So Henry will retain the strike. He's on 10. It's 2 for 67 after 8 overs. Giffen 1 for 19 off his 2. It's actually quite pleasant now.
Well, yeah, the little bit of cloud. There's a nice breeze. Don't know what they're worried about, all this heat. Very, very nice up here in the pavilion.
Reaching for the sleeveless. Dooley to continue. Quicker ball. Tries to push it through. Henry's backwards in defending.
Patrick Dooley's one of the few people who has played first grade in 2 sports.
Has he?
Has indeed. He's played... there's the old ramp.
It's a terrible ramp shot. Anyway, they'll get 2, maybe 3. I think Yano is fit enough, but I don't think Scott Henry is. Do tell, Dave.
He's a first grade flanker with, or premier grade flanker, was with West Rugby, down there at the kennel.
I didn't know that. I've seen that Dooley name.
And but for a serious leg injury and some persuasion from his father that with your build, young man, you're going to get hammered every week. I'm not sure that he's continued with his rugby career, but you don't see it too often, John, these days with the demands of, particularly of cricket, 3 forms of the game.
It's a short season in the Premier Rugby. I think these grand finals are in August and 18 rounds will take it late to March, early April they start. So there is a crossover there, but how'd you go pre-season training then go to cricket training?
That's right. I mean, there's big demands placed on amateur sportsmen these days. I know the rugby clubs are back in training and have been for a few weeks for a start that's around March or Easter next year.
It's way down leg side and he just pushes it down to fine leg for a single. Yeah, well, maybe they can handle it in the younger day.
That's right. Well, certainly
we played both codes.
Yeah, the demographic has certainly changed. You don't see the seasoned first grader quite so much. You know, a couple of these guys apart. You know, particularly in rugby, you haven't got those blokes. Too many blokes at the back end of their 20s, early 30s, still running around. They're few and far between now. I guess that's one of the things that uni have been able to maintain is this core of experienced players, and what an incredibly experienced lineup they do have.
They've had this core of players for a long time, haven't
they? Have, and I suppose it's a double-edged sword. Number one, you're not putting players into representative sport, so you've got them there each week. You're playing against clubs who do have their smattering of shield talent. You've got the pressure of a successful second-grade team. Those players pushing through. They'll be eager for their opportunity in first grade very soon. So selectors have got a lot of serious decisions to make, haven't they?
Paulson coming into the attack here. So we saw the guile and genius of Don Michael from that end, and you'll see the same thing with Paulson here. Got all the
He's had a long career, long and illustrious career, hasn't he?
He's taking on Scott Henry. Short, he's lifted that high, and 6 to the total there. So Paulson just pulling down that one, and
he certainly did, and not a lot of margin for error out there. I mean, there's been probably half a dozen sixes out there today, John, hasn't there? That short boundary. Still, my car retains its original condition. There's a couple with minor dents either side. Touch wood.
Yes. Don't speak too early here. Got Nick Sale could sing 1 or 2 there. And this man, Scott Henry, but off the back foot. A lovely shot off the back foot. Covers, only gets the 1, but you can have all your 6s all you like, but I just love cover drive, square drives.
And Scott Henry is certainly a wonderful exponent of those.
followed the strike. Came in not long after Scott Henry. Dot ball. That's what they want. Required run rate 5.5. Certainly doable. Good ball, Polson. Yeah, he's very watchful, isn't he?
Well, he certainly gives it a rip, Paulson. So if there's any turn there.
Quick ball off the back foot and he finds backward point. No run. Good over from Polson. He learnt from that loose delivery. But if you do one of those every over and then 5 singles, it's a bit pricey. Dooley will continue. He's got one, maybe 2 overs to go, isn't he? This is his last over. 1 for 14. Steve Polson just 7 off his first over. Left arm over the wicket. Henry calls of catch it and it's gone over the infield, but too short for the. On the wall. It's 2, thinking about 3. Henry has a look and says no. He's down to the danger end.
As it turned out, it was probably a good thing that he didn't get hold of it because it landed safely. If he had got hold of it, it might have the trajectory might have come out here to the man at deep mid wicket or deep 4 to square.
See, hang on a second. My car's just down here at Cow. Might be in the firing line as well. Henry just gets a single. Hits mine, will hit the back window, so at least I'll be able to get home. Do some explaining. Dooley's going to bowl left arm around the wicket to the right-handed Kutsi.
Yana having a good look. He's not going to be rushed. Dooley's bowling a really good spell here, doing a good job for his team.
It's just not coming on the bat for Yano, is it?
No.
It just seems to be just the wait for it. He can't play that fluent shot.
You don't get too many loose balls from Dooley. Like he's not flighting it, he's pushing it through. That time Yano finding the gap for a single. I mean, it's a busy action that he's got, Dooley. He would lend itself to, firing them in rather than flighting them, I would have thought.
And then go back over the wicket to Scott Henry. He's on 24. Thick inside edge by Henry. Push that through a little bit quicker there to Dooley. End of the over, his good spell. 1 for 18 off his 4 overs, so the skipper's done his job. 53 required off 54 balls now.
Well, that'll be interesting to see what they do down at the river end now that Paddy's finished his spell. He's continuing with spin, and they've been able to rein in the scoring a little bit, the spinners. Paulson to continue.
Back foot just finds the man in the deep. Another single. So this will be frustrating, Dooley. They're just getting singles at will.
Yeah, they really are relying on the uni batsmen to attack and get out. Nice shot by Henry, but won't be able to get anything more than a single for that.
Yeah, you put too much on that one, and when they beat the infield, it's only going for 1, and if they
there's good coverage. So it has put the brakes on the scoring, but they haven't been able to get that next wicket.
He stepped across the line and pulled that through
That's
mid-wicket. Yano's had enough.
Yeah, you can't drop it short to Yano, and that's reminiscent of that boundary that he hit to send West into oblivion last time they played here.
Mm. Yeah, he stepped across the line there and pulled that through wide mid-wicket. Paulson, guilty of a loose delivery per over. That one's a better ball. Pushes it through and Yano defends it. So I won't say Paulson's using the odd delivery just to test them. He's
firing him in, isn't he?
Yano try and do it again, but he's found the fieldsman just a single. He's going to find it.
Yeah, Yano just sitting back waiting for that short one.
Well, he's not going over the top. He's just lobbing it. You know, we saw him win the game with a massive game for last year. This one's on the carpet here by Henry, but finds backward point. So, yeah, it's a long boundary out here this time, though. That's the end of the over, the end of Paulson's second. None for 15, 2 for 91.
Yeah, things going along as per script for University at this stage. 2 for 91 off
12 overs.
Off 12 overs. A lot would have to go wrong for Uni not to chase down this total comfortably. But, as we said earlier in the commentary, cricket is a funny game.
It's a funny game. You don't know why we bother.
Just trying to see who the next batsman in for Uni is. Looks like Don Michael.
Do you really want to get one of these guys out? Tasler will continue from the river end. John Buchanan in the top of your screen there, the coach for Western Suburbs.
Former university coach, captain, long-time servant of the University of Queensland Cricket Club, Buck.
Well, I was expecting a wide from Mr. No one didn't get it. Actually, I thought, not that I've been outside much, the Dirk tells the roost here. Normally he follows the boys around.
Yeah, I've seen Dirk.
He's here.
The last time I saw Dirk, he had a very large water container in his hand, so no job too menial for Dirk these days. A few youngsters here probably wouldn't know that he was one of the great Queensland fast bowlers. In fact, reminds me of a day when I was coaching at the school I work at, where I offered a small wager to a group of boys I was coaching. I said, I'll give you a can of Coke if you can guess who those two feared fast bowlers over there are. And of course it was well outside their generation. And of course no one had any idea it was none other than Jeff Thompson and Lenny Pascoe. So the cricket junkie in me was absolutely horrified, but understandable. Tomo and Lenny are mere legends of fathers and grandfathers storytelling now.
Yeah. Tomo handing over a cap to a debutant for Toombul weekends ago, so still involved with the Bulls. Toombul Bulls. Yeah, well, Dirk Tasler, he could swing a ball. He was just
Could you imagine being a club batsman facing up to Lenny Pascoe and Jeff Thompson in a grade game, particularly if your team's been knocked over half an hour before stumps? Light fading.
You'd be pretty happy if you got that far into the day. Obviously, yeah, and I don't know whether it would have been as exotic sight screens back in those days either. You obviously same protective gear that they've got now, you look like Ned Kelly at the moment.
Well, I think the last thing you want to do is, edge a 4 or something like that and raise their temper, raise their ire. So they kicked the mark back a couple of paces and came off their long run. Club cricket, I suppose you could argue at times are a little more genteel.
Ty get it a little bit bristly, but I think Lenny probably a little bit more feistier. His nature, but he's still humble, Pasco. Not enough bling and half-open shirts anymore. So Henry hasn't got all of that. Going to fall safe against you. Got the golden touch today, haven't they? The students, they're finding the gaps.
It's the St Lucia triangle over there. That ball has lobbed into that area about half a dozen times today.
So a change. I think Edwards might be coming back on. Robert. Or is it Paulson to continue? Paulson, 2 overs, none for 14, so they'll continue with spin from the campus end. Batsman out today for the students. First one goes Michael Philson, caught by Atkinson off the bowling, but given for 21 off 19 balls, a 4 and a 6, and then Jack Hardy, the big unit. He was bowled by Dooley, playing on 32 off 18, 4 4s and 2 giant 6s.
Well, the skipper's gone to his pace gun, Blake Edwards, to try and pick up a wicket. He needs one desperately. And all of a sudden, I fancy Yano looks a little more comfortable against the ball coming onto him.
I agree. I would have kept going with Paulson, I think. Wasn't quite as comfortable. He was trying to get hold of Paulson, but he wasn't, as you say, quite able to get onto as much as he will against
strikes me as one of those decks. Dom, Michael taking the pace off the ball. It looks like one of those decks where if you just bring it back a yard. And there's the wicket they've got.
Just like that. Well,
little feather.
His skipper asked him to come back, make the breakthrough, and University lose their 3rd wicket, and that of Scott Henry. Just a little feather into the gloves. Henry knew it, walked straight away.
Yeah, didn't quite move the back foot across there, did he?
No, that's the end of the skipper, Michael. Scotty Henry, Scooter McGavin.
So Dominic Michael's the new batsman. He's got a very good record in this form of the game. Curtsy remains not out 12. We're into the 14th over. And Uni are 3 for 94, chasing 135, 136 for victory. So Uni have been able to continue with the left-hand, right-hand combinations with Dominic Michael's arrival at the crease. Now, we must be mindful that Uni are down a batsman without Jack Clayton, who rolled his ankle. Michael immediately off the mark and pushed it into Cuffer for an easy single. So Jack Clayton rolled his ankle while fielding, and he will play no further part in the fixture. So West know if they can pick up another quick wicket or two, they are well within reach of claiming an unlikely victory.
Well placed by Jarno Coetzee in the gap between keeper and fine leg, who is up in the circle. And they get a handy 2. So it looks like Edwards just taking the pace off the ball a little bit, dragging his fingers across the seam occasionally. Jarno hits it straight down the ground to long off for a single. It's a little bit in the wicket in terms of movement. Spinner's extracted a little bit of turn. But certainly, as we've been saying, as the bowlers have been prepared to vary their pace and take the pace off the ball in particular, seem to have had the most effect today. So after 14 overs, Uni are 3 for 98. Jarno Coetzee on 15 off 21, and Dominic Michael on 1 off his 1 delivery faced. Looks like Ryan Taslar is taking up proceedings again at the river end.
What a miss. Apart from 3 years of my life.
Multitasking today, John.
Yeah, there's a wind over there that's blowing the camera down, so we've got to go for a trot 100. As it comes in. I was using Google Earth to measure which sight screen was closer. And it tells me from here to there, it's 107 metres. That's as the crow flies, so you did that first 150 metres in 67.3. I don't know if that's PB or not.
You'll be the first commentator to pull up sore in the hamstrings and calves from a commentary stint.
Exactly. Well, it happened in Allen Border last week when the wind, a couple of weeks ago, and we used a Fox scaffolding, which is like 5 stories of stairs, and yeah, I know with calves like Melvin Ingram or Nick Herford, massive, sore. Walks out the creases, Don Michael, and goes to the third man for a single.
Yeah, he's a bit like Michael Phillips, and he doesn't allow the bowler to dominate him at all. Dominatrix.
That brings up the 100 here for the University. 36 from 34. Bruce TV, brought to you by FDC, the construction and fabrication company. Oops, no, that one back again. Yeah, something drastic has got to happen here for the Western Suburbs to get back into this game.
Yeah, there's still the likes of Mitchell Fry, Nick Sale.
Oh, got to go with the tail enders, mate. We got Ensby. Oh, it's just
he's got some handy runs for Uni this season and in previous seasons.
Get the tail. Don Michael walking across the crease there, pushing that down the. Well, he pushed that back with a square leg, and he double checked with Jarno Coetzee what he wanted. Well, Jarno wasn't going to turn around. He just kept coming. And Peter Nolan there from I think he's won umpire of the year for the last 4 years. He's like, it's almost like. Black caviar.
Yeah.
Nobody's come close to him. Don Michael pulls that off his face. He's going to go between. Oh, nicely fielded in the deep there. They'll take 2. Great job. I thought that was 4, and he threw the Duke out. Nicely done.
It was a good effort, and they're going to have to field like that, and they did last time Uni played West. They won't die wondering. They will just hang in. That's straight down, deep cover point's throat, and the critical wicket of Dominic Michael has fallen. And as I said, they hang in, do Wes.
Is there a twist? Is there a twist?
Is there a twist in the narrative? There could well be.
I wasn't quite sure where that one had gotten. Thought down there at deep extra cover. I'm not sure this camera angle might get it in the background, and there it is.
Yeah, Dom's very disappointed with that one.
Yeah, he would have liked to have been there at the end, but obviously Hasler will be happy with that. Gets him wicket of the Dom Michaels. The Alan Cootsy's still out there, the glue.
And the ever reliable wicketkeeper batsman, or as we said before, batsman wicketkeeper. He's certainly as accomplished in both skill sets. Mitchell Fry comes to the crease. It'll be Yarno who, I beg your pardon, it's Mitchell on strike.
There you have the graphics from Liga Sports. Create a whole new way to watch Premier Grade cricket. Instantaneous score updates, fall of wickets, batting cards, results, summaries. I don't know, do cricket, they can help you out with anything. It requires their graphics and genius. Check them out, LIGR. Tasler continues. Straight away, Mitchell Fry. They do know that this Webb Harris pitch quite well, obviously, but pretty much every single batsman, except for Jack Carty, takes one or two steps out of the crease. They just know there's nothing. If you can create it, you meet the ball at a half volley, you've got a chance, but they're just certainly not scared to walk in. That's the first ball Fry's face, and he's got no fear. Mitchell Fry in heavy competition with Scott Henry, with the dad bod, now that Peter Forrest isn't here. Scott Henry's going, Scott Waller's going, I think he might have the wood on Mitchell Fry.
Oh, very close to the fieldsman there at cover point, backward point. So, West are in with a sniff.
That would have been a absolute ripper. I was going to ask what you make of you made of Steve Smith's catch.
What
handy?
Extraordinary, wasn't it?
Not the first time he's done it either.
Yeah. He's a wonderful, certainly has a wonderful right hand.
The way he plays the game and his skill in the field, he reminds me of somebody who reminds me of Mark Wahlberg. Gets a lot more runs than Mark Wahlberg. Mark was beautiful in shot selection, but his fielding and the slips was. You talk about Greg Chappell, but Mark Waugh, he was even in close at extra cover or cover.
Very elegant player, Mark Waugh. I showed a couple of replays yesterday on Fox Sports of some great slips catches, and Mark Waugh took a similar one, but took it two hands. He
Really?
Yeah. Dive full length to his right and plucked two hands.
You've got to call somebody back. Get it that way. Fry yet to get off the mark. So Dooley coming to have a chat to Edwards. He's in halfway through his last over, 1 for 32. The Blues still need 29 off 27 balls. They got 5 in the shed, not 6. Carty out. Clayton out, I should say. I keep saying that. So the Brains Trust have finished conjuring up something to get rid of Mitchell Fry.
That's right. I mean, at uni, you just have to push a single every ball. They'll pick up the odd two, the odd boundary, and they'll get home comfortably. There's no need to do anything drastic.
I don't know about you, Dave. I don't know whether Edwards is bowling at full pace.
No, I think they've worked out that they take the pace off the ball. It's a much harder wicket to bat on than if you're bowling full ball. You know, they're taking a leaf out of Don Michael's book, just holding their pace back a bit. I mean, Yano, for instance, looks more comfortable with the ball coming onto him than spinners, for instance, but unfortunately they don't have another spinner to go to.
He just seems to be. I think you're spot on. I think he's bowling to the conditions.
Yeah.
You tell him, solid man. There's your back row right there. Teams from the campus end looking for a breakthrough. The 4 for 108. The students dug out there by Yana Kutsi. Good ball in the end of his over, end of his spell there. Edwards 1 for 33 off his 4. Scores 4 for 108. Requiring 28 off 24 balls. Could be in for a thriller again, Dave. Another wicket and look out.
Well, there's been a great rivalry between these two clubs over the years. The Cross River neighbours.
Well, it's been rightly so, the two powerhouses of not only the men's and so the women's. The West very strong with in the women's department. Like Kirby Short and Grace Harris and Holly Furling. Great club there at Western Suburbs. Their CEO, John Dooley, is also on the board of Queensland Cricket. And also got Greg Rowell over there. The mischievous Mr. Dan Morosky still he's playing 8th grade now. Walks across the crease. So yeah, and they've got a new pitch over there at Graceville. Only about a month old.
Well, certainly I saw one last year that was a little, to put it mildly, uphill and down Dale, and Brendan Doggett bowling off his full run. Was a lively afternoon for the uni boys.
I can imagine. Well, they say it's the same for both, but when you've got Doggett in your weaponry, it's not, is it really? I suppose Scotty Waddle would have enjoyed it. 26 from 22.
Oh, well played, Mitchell Fry.
Walks across the crease and pulls that off stump. 4 runs. Yeah, the Bulls Masters, the competition sponsor. Pleasure of Ian Mackay for the Youth Cup. And Carl Racken was up there, Dave, and he, a young player who not even in his side that was mentoring, spent 45 minutes with a young man called Jarvis who's got a slingshot Malinga-like action. And while he's there, he took a video and he said, look, I'll help you out here. I'll send this to Tomo to have a look. And so, I mean, that guy, that's $5,000 there.
Well, very good eye for talent, Mocker. Always has done.
Yep. So I don't recall his first name, Jarvis, if you remember, but the Bulls Masters, who are sponsor of the Queensland Bulls and the Premier Grade competition. And yeah, there's certainly some talent up there at up Mackay. Not in the commentary box. I might say that people like Brendan Creevy and Gavin Fitness, and they're good cricketers. They won't want me saying that. I had a great time. A lot of insight that you learn so much just listening to those blokes talk about cricket. Chris Swan, another one. Peter Drennan.
Oh, great shot again. Fry using the crease. This time going forward, hitting the ball in that vacant cover region. Picking up 2. Good man for this situation. Very experienced. Very handy middle order batsman.
Trying to work out who the number 3 for West is fielding out here mid-wicket. Atkinson.
Anthony Atkinson.
I mean, I've done some running to fix this camera. This guy's been scooting around, took a good catch.
Yeah, he took that very high one off Michael Phillipson earlier. That was a real crack of a catch. A lot of work to do.
Massive amount of work. Full toss. I don't know whether it's a no ball, but regardless, it'll go for one. We'll see what umpire Nolan says. And
No, got away with that one.
yeah, he's happy with it. Into the over for Tazler at the end of his 4 overs as well. He has 1 for 26. And UQ 4 for 117. Still require 19 from 18. Chat in the middle here. It'll be obvious what we're doing is working. Edwards finishing his spell. There's a change at the northern end, campus end. It won't be Dooley because he's finished. He's going to hand it off to McGiffin, I think it is. So 1 for 33 from his 4 overs, Edwards. Tazler 4 overs, 1 for 26. McGiffin 2 overs, 1 for 19 to take up the attack from the northern end. Fry's on 9, so they need 2 quick wickets.
2 quick wickets and 2 quick boundaries will
That's exactly, yeah, very indication.
resolve this scenario. By Mitchell Fry. Found a long off. 1 run. And Mitchell Fry just telling Yarno that he's bowling with leg cutters by the look of that little wrist action from Mitchell to Yarno then. I think that was the attempted slower ball, dug in short, trying to get Yarno to hole out deep here on the boundary where there were 3 people waiting in anticipation, 3 fieldsmen.
Yeah, McGiffin, well, with the bat, top scored with 52, him and I think it might have been Edwards put on a 50-run partnership that sort of resurrected. But after that, nice shot there from Fry, just pushes it through backward point for 1. They resurrected after they lost 3 quick wickets, Western Suburbs. But once those 2 left, there was nothing. Dooley teed off a little bit to the back end, but they just didn't get enough. And Don Michael went a long way to suffocating that run rate, restricting them to a total of 135. And now the batsmen reaping the benefits of that good bowling. Good comeback here from the bowlers in the back end of that innings from Western Suburbs. There's a lovely shot there from Coetzee to backward point, just the 1. If they got over 150, we'd certainly be in for a bit of helter-skelter, considering Jack Clayton's out of the equation as well.
Beautiful shot by Mitchell Fry. He has used his feet magnificently. Dominic Michael takes the gain to the bowler, a couple of steps down the wicket and smacks it straight through that cover region. That was the shot of the day.
Yeah, I'm going to show that replay again. That deserves it. Look at that. Straight through the line. That's a beautiful shot. Give me that every day of the week. Live on. Actually, you might be able to see him at the crease here. Takes a walk out and well, he's walked across the crease one too many times, and he's found the Bulldogs fieldsman.
Well, another little twist in the storyline, in the narrative this afternoon. Wes hanging in there.
That's what catch that. Do that again. Look at this for a catch.
that was flying too. It moved to his right.
Took it down low.
So Devon Endersby's the new batsman.
I don't know. I don't think this has still got one more twist yet. I know there's one wicket here, but it was the end of the over, so he's not on strike. So McGiffin, 2 for 27 from his 3. You would think he'd probably bowl one more. Steve Polson, he has 2 up his sleeve. Aidan Waterson's got 3. Looks like McGiffin will be the man to continue from the river end. Devon Endersby not on strike. He's wearing the number 7.
So 11 from 12. Needed.
Awesome. Foolish toss whipped off the pads there by Coetzee. He's been out there for a while. 32 deliveries for his 24. Brings Endersby on strike, so he's more than happy to see his bowling teammate take guard against Waterson. Just a couple of inches outside the crease as Endersby bat. Well, he's gone over extra cover. Atkinson has the fly. He does a great job. Geez, he's the fieldsman of the afternoon, Atkinson. That's great work. They'll turn for 3 though. Well fielded.
He certainly has put in today, Anthony Atkinson. He's done a power of work out here on this boundary. You can see why he's put out here.
Yeah, he's there. That's right. Horses for courses for him. So Waterson, 10 from 11. Coetzee on strike.
Brings the new batsman Endersby on strike. He'll be having a look around in this field, and there's a lot of gaps. But there's not too many gaps where you can hit a boundary, but unless they probably don't need them.
He's gone for a slash.
He certainly put some wood on that one. Only picks up 1.
5 required now. It's grim for the puppies and the Bulldogs. He's like Michael Bevan, isn't he? He just likes to get red ink all the time.
He certainly does.
Let him put the kiss of death on him then.
He's done some terrific jobs for uni over the last couple of seasons, and as I said, had to reinvent himself as a player when he went through a period of loss of confidence. He was an established first grader, lost his mojo, went back to the 2s, and wasn't ashamed to go back to the 2s. Spent a short period of time down there, 4 or 5 games, got his runs, came back and could transform player. Got hold of that one, just falls short of the fields not long off.
Yes, I spoke to Yano during that period, and he said the S word. He said, I've got to get my SHIT together again. And that's what lower grades is there for. It gives opportunities for people to come up, and it also gives opportunities for people to find form when they drop back a grade.
Yeah, and I think the E word, the enjoyment factor, is important for those blokes.
Right, yeah.
You know, if you've been in the first grade system for a few years, you can become, I guess, a little mechanical, and you need the challenge thrown at you every now and again. Unless, of course, you know, you're a person of elite ability and you do take the next step.
Yes, you're right about enjoyment, as you see Dooley having a good chat to McGiffin. Waterson, sorry, that's...
I mean, the enjoyment factor is certainly one thing that this university team do display consistently. It's they enjoy each other's company. They are these guys will be lifelong friends. They've spent so much time together, and they enjoy each other's company. They play well together. They certainly have a lot of stories to tell at the end of their collective careers, but they've been a tremendous group to represent the club, and they'll continue with a very successful weekend this weekend, I dare say. 3 victories from 3 matches.
Stand and deliver. Oh, almost the catch. Almost Jack Clayton out there.
Well, if Jack was sitting at home on his couch, he would have been reminiscing that attempt, but in fact Jack might have jumped up in anticipation. For those who don't know, Jack Clayton took the catch of the decade out there last year, but that one just didn't stick for Wes. It was certainly a damn good attempt.
It was a beauty. It was like a goal kick there. But you're right, it's enjoyment factor. I remember seeing Julie Zamiro's home delivery with Ian Chappell. He decided he knew it was time to give it away when he looked at the ground clock and said 11:15. He went, really?
That's right.
It's time to give it away if I'm looking at the clock at 11:15. So enjoying your cricket. I miss it terribly. But, oh, what a catch. And that's the end of Dead and Endersby. Unfortunately, in the shadows of victory.
That one stuck in the right mid.
Yeah, a little bit of work to do.
Yeah.
But it's coming at a rate.
So 3 from 4. If there's a dot ball. Next delivery. You just never know.
Never know.
There's a message going out to Yano, courtesy of Don Michael. Or he's just having a drink. I dare say there's a word of advice.
Brings Nick Sale to the crease. Nick was probably just about to rip his kit off. Just as quick in the kick, that is. With a win in sight.
Yeah, too early for O week.
Yeah. That's right. Nick Sale will take guard, the left-hander. 3 from 3. Well, we knew it would be close. They haven't disappointed, these two powerhouses of Premier Cricket.
It's been a great game.
Giffen, his last bowled out. Sale goes big.
Geez, he had a bit of work to do. Nick, not known for his speed between wickets. He looked a bit like Fred Flintstone trying to get his car to move then. Running up and down on the spot, but he got back for the second run. Bit of a collision with the keeper, but an important 2 runs, which means Uni now need 1 from 2. The scores are tied. And that should be regulation.
Well, the way Cardi and Philson took off, I didn't think we'd beat this part of the game, Dave Grogan. I thought he packed up and halfway back to out of dodge. But
full credit to West.
Yeah.
They haven't been a strong side for a number of years for nothing, and they're obviously well coached, well prepared. They've been well captained by Paddy Dooley today. All the players have fielded well. They probably had a couple of chances half chances at least, that they might have wished that had stuck, and that could have placed a little more pressure on the University batsmen. Notwithstanding the fact that Jack Clayton was unable to bat, that was a critical blow. So we need 1 run from 2 deliveries. Nick Sale on strike. He was the man death yesterday who guided the ship home with Yano, and they're here again.
Oh, we headed for a super over. Sale. Oh, he's got the catch. Look out. We've got a game on our hands. Oh, David Grogan, what's doing? It's a funny game, cricket.
Well. 1 ball, 1 run. Nick Sale has holed out to the only man in that region of the field. So it is going to be Will Sanders who's going to be the man needed to bring us home. Now, what do you do if you're the bowler? What do you do if you're the batsman? What do you do if you're the captain? Fieldsmen will certainly be on their toes. They will be doing everything. This will be interesting to see where they set up the field placings.
Well, the plus side, or the negative side, I don't think they crossed.
No, they didn't cross because Yano was ordered back by the umpire, ordered back to the non-striker's end. He had a look across to the umpire and he said, no, Yano, get back there.
That brings on, I think it's Willens.
It's Will Sanders.
Will Sanders. We call him the Colonel.
And Paddy will take advantage of this situation. He won't be in any hurry.
Well, one thing I would be thinking that it's easy for me to say, for the keeper to come up to the stumps, make sure he stays in his crease. Sanders, I know it's a dangerous ploy, but I just wouldn't mind seeing the keeper come up, puts pressure on the batsman. He's got somebody's breath on his neck, and it's not the enjoyable kind. And then you've got Yano Coetzee will be in the blocks at the other end waiting to come through.
Yes, well, will Yano just take off?
Steve Polson and Dooley. Smiles on the faces. What if I just bowl him, I think he said. Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Be interesting to see what the advice that Yano gave to Will would be.
Well, this is 1 ball. He's on his own. Batsman, bowler. Nobody else is in this.
So there's the field. There's only 1 player out, and that's Anthony Atkinson, 2/3 of the way out the boundary. The rest are in the circle. 3 close infields.
All right, 1 run required for a win. Last ball of the match.
And Will Sanders, man of the moment, glides it beautifully down to 3rd man. The boundary at 3rd man for 4, and it has been a university victory. Another thriller between these 2 close rivals. Went down to the last ball, as it did yesterday. I tell you what, if you want to watch good T20 cricket, come and watch some of this stuff. That's 2 days, 2 last ball victories. Great effort by the uni boys, 1 batsman down. Were challenged at various times by West's attack and a West team who refused to give in. But got there in the end, John. I thought the start from Yano and Michael Phillipson was critical. There'll be a couple of batsmen a little bit disappointed with the way that they holed out today, but that's T20 cricket, and it kept us on the edge of our seats up here in their commentary position.
Well, yeah, the win there too. The University of Queensland gives them 3 from 3 for a great weekend to head towards semi-finals. Obviously, there's a game next week, I think, Dave. My memory could be wrong there, but I think Benny Davis said there was another game next week. So
and then a couple after Christmas and before the semis, yeah.
And we will be back here on Blues TV in January the 5th or 6th or whatever it is, for a double header here once again for our sponsors. So we are. So both sides go out there and shake hands. So a victory there to the students. A victory of, well, is it a victory of 3 wickets or 2 wickets? 3, I suppose.
Yeah.
Still 3. Yeah, he could have still come out, Jack Clayton. But anyway, shaking hands. I'm going to shake hands with Dave Grogan. Thank you very much for your time today, mate. I really appreciate your commentary and your wise words, mate. It's always good to have somebody with your experience, a past captain and coach here at the University of Queensland. I certainly hope you'll join me in the new year. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to all our viewers on Blues TV.
And thanks, John. And always happy to come out and witness a very exciting university victory.
Yeah, so well done to the university. We'll look forward to seeing you next year in 2020 for some more 2020. You like that? See you next week.